I'd like to share a story with you. It's about a class divide that exists in America today, and it may be one of the most important stories you've heard in a long time. An advantage is knowing and understanding something that derives real value that's not available or accessible to another. And in the world of investments, it's literally what separates one investor class from another. Warren Buffett's advisory team and strategies are entirely different than what's available to the masses. Do you believe that he uses the same online trading platforms or gets investment tips from his golf or gym buddies? Which brings me to my point. What if your investment advice, your investment vehicles, what if they're serving your financial institutions more than you? What if it were possible to realize 100% plus returns consistently every time you invested? Would this represent your own investment and wealth building advantage? An advantage over thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? The reality is that for every $10,000 that you invest at, let's say, 5%, would return about $500 annually. Now, using stocks, this often requires that you make multiple transactions on these high volume platforms. And every time you do that, it carries additional risk. So what you actually profit net over time is more likely than not negligible. Now, consider that same $10,000 only earning a 100% return. This would yield $20,000. That's much better than the $10,500. And it's done with a single leveraged investment in commodities. Now, if you multiply this with a proven method, and I'm going to talk to you today about the Decadian method, and you begin to realize that the true advantage men such as Warren Buffett have over the masses is that most Americans have been manipulated to believe that when they get a 4, 5, or 6% return, it's okay. You see, the uninformed public has been led to believe that online trading platforms, 401ks, REITs, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and other vehicles, all those vehicles that generate low returns are acceptable, even generous. It's a lie. Nothing more, nothing less. The truth is that there are two investor classes, the 99% or consumer class and the top 1% or the privileged class. It's the privileged class that generates 100% plus returns consistently every time. They're actually disappointed when they make less. They own the banks, the media, the online investment platforms. They control powerful lobbies in Washington to protect their advantage over the consumer class. It's the privileged class that have convinced the general public that earning these 3, 4, 6% returns is okay. It's the top 1% that are always the first in the know, the first to position, the first to hedge, the first to leverage their investment pool. And their investment pool comes from the 99%. And those funds, they're usually invested in high-yield commodity trades. You see, it is possible to achieve 100% and greater returns from leveraged investments. But until you realize that the process and platforms and the ideology offered to the public simply serves brokers and financial institutions more than you, until you understand this, you'll stay on this treadmill, never really breaking through into the top 1%. It's never too late. It's never too late to generate real wealth. So the question is would you like to join the privileged class, the top 1%? You can, but you must change and shift the way that you've been programmed to think. You must break past patterns and beliefs, and you must learn and act differently to get different results. If you're ready to do this, we welcome you here. We're the only online source that exists to help you move from the consumer class to the privileged class. Now, I want to share with you the details behind the Decadian method. I'd like to show you today the inside process that goes into the same privileged knowledge and decisioning as the top 1%. And I invite you now to carefully evaluate this remarkable method, this philosophical and practical investment approach that up until now has been reserved for the wealthiest families in America. Now you can access the same qualitative analysis, the same wealth-generating strategies fully disclosed to you right here. Click to discover the approach used for decades to amass real legacy wealth. And after you log in, we've reserved a special copy of the Decadian Wealth Report just for you. This report will show you how the Decadian method positions you in the upper and lower third of almost every major breaking investment opportunity in the world of commodities. Are you ready to make the shift? To help you, we've prepared a 21-day free program. It will help you think, learn, and do things to make the shift to the top 1%. Now, psychologists tell you that it takes 21 days to create a new pattern. a new way of thinking and acting. And each day you log in, you'll be presented with a video or audio file, and you'll be able to chart your path to these 100% returns. And we're happy to offer this to you and your family free of charge. Using the Decadian method and approach is quite literally the difference between earning 6% or generating 100% plus returns annually. So let's get started.